Tom Cruise's latest American Made opens in theaters this weekend. Should you run and go see it? Get it? Because Tom Cruise runs everywhere? It doesn't matter. Check it out right now on Screen Junkies News. Hello, I'm Dan Murrell.
I'm Andy Signore.
And Andy, we are reviewing American Made, the latest from Tom Cruise, hitting theaters this weekend. Directed by Doug Liman, who...
Big fan of his.
Big fan of his. Obviously, he's got like a sneaky good filmography. He got Swingers, he's got Edge of Tomorrow, he did the Firstborn Identity
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I remember, was surprised.
Yeah, he's got a sneaky good filmography. Tom Cruise in American Made, he's playing a pilot named Barry Seal, who gets hired by the government to go do some reconnaissance photos, and things just kind of go from there. I like this movie a lot, actually. This had a lot of humor that I enjoyed. This also kind of had a history lesson that, you know, this takes place during the 80s. These are events that happened when I was very young. I knew kind of a lot of these events, but I didn't quite know a lot of the details behind them. And this movie kept me interested all the way through.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think the biggest advice I'd give is, like, probably don't read too much about it if you don't know this history story or the true story about this character. I preferred not knowing because I went in sort of, it got more and more unexpected as it continued. It's sort of one of those stories of like, did this really happen? Is this still happening? And it's sort of, you don't know where it's going to turn. And it does have some nice sort of twists and turns along the way that I found very exciting. And it was also something different for, I think, Tom Cruise and Liman. I didn't expect this to be the movie that they would follow up Edge of Tomorrow with. Yeah. At the same time, I could see why they both were sort of excited to try something different. It has sort of a Goodfellas vibe in a weird way of like the voiceover of the guy, and then your things starting and going. It's just a really fun like dramatic, but has dark comedy in it, has some actiony moments, and overall just a fun ride.
Yeah, I was gonna dumbly say it was like a real life Wolf of Wall Street until I remembered that Wolf of Wall Street was the real life Wolf of Wall Street. But it has, you're right, it has that kind of feel as far as the narration, the voiceover. You know, you're kind of advancing through the years, you're following step by step, things just get crazier and crazier and crazier. Now, as with any movie, I'm sure a lot of it's been fictionalized. I'm sure there'll be a lot of articles written about, oh, this isn't how that happened, or this timeline wasn't right. But you have to judge the movie as a movie. And I thought the movie told a really fun story about some events that aren't necessarily that fun. I mean, it's not afraid to go to some darker places, which I also enjoyed. I would agree with you. I didn't know this story. I didn't know Barry Seal's real life history, and I would recommend, if you want to enjoy the movie, just from a storytelling perspective, maybe wait until afterwards to read everything that happened, because there's so many crazy twists and turns, and you're going to want to delve into it afterwards. But it's insane that even if this is fictionalized slightly, that something like this could happen. Just so many different parties involved, the government and Central America, the drug trade, and the spies. And I mean, it's crazy to think that all of this could happen, but that's some of the best stories in real life are, you know, so crazy it's true. Yeah. Yeah, Tom Cruise has been so action oriented lately. It was good to see him just kind of take on another role as like a dude, just a guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, what's fun about the character, and I'm trying to want to spoil anything. I'm trying to walk the line, but you sort of, what's fun about the character is you just can't really tell. Is he crazy? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Does he know what he's doing? Is he a genius? Is he absolutely just this is lucked into everything? Yeah. It's kind of a fun character for play, and I think Tom. This could easily have been played in an overly dramatic sort of, the actor could have gone in that way, but because Tom has that charisma that you sort of like him, it makes it easier to swallow the pills of where sort of it goes, because the character of Barry Seal doesn't always make the right decisions, and you can't tell what's going on, but because he's likable, it lets you want to go on the ride with him. And so I think Cruise does a good job, and it's a good fit for him to try something new here that's a little bit more nuanced. It's not the hardcore blockbuster actiony role. It's not like the Born on the 4th of July dramatic role. Right. It's a nice like ride down the middle where he does it really well, hits the landing.
And to me, it's the kind of character that I think they were trying to go for, and it's the same studio, Universal, with The Mummy, where, like, you know, he's kind of roguish, and, you know, he does some things that maybe aren't quite on the up and up, but you like him, and he's charming, and he's doing things for the right reasons. And I feel like they succeeded here where they maybe didn't get it right in that movie. I think that once they got Tom Cruise, they smartly probably went back to the script and said, okay, we kind of want to tailor this character to play to his strengths, and they do. And then again, I like that he's not playing Tom Cruise, and he's not relying on that like charm of just like, hey, I'm Tom Cruise, people like me. Like he invests the character. He's doing a Southern accent, which, as someone that was raised in the South, a bad one is very easy to spot. lot. Like, he does the accent well. A lot of it takes place in Arkansas, which is where I grew up, which I didn't know. So that was great. I know where Mena, Arkansas is. So that was cool. But yeah, really more than anything, it's just a really entertaining movie. It's not a heavy drama. It's not a laugh out loud comedy. It's just kind of right there in the middle. And I don't know. I hope that audiences find it, because I think this is a kind of a mass audience movie. I think most people would like it. It gets a little dark in places, as we mentioned, but I think it's a good balance.
Yeah, no, it's strangely also a dark comedy, though. There's definitely like absurdist stuff happening that you can't help but laugh in the situation, but it's also real, and it's also some weird stuff that the government and people were involved in doing. You can't really really? This was happening? So I agree. I think it's a recommendation for me of just go in, have a good, turn your mind off, be told a cool new story. And I applaud Lyman and Cruz. It's like I could see Scorsese and DiCaprio wanting to do this movie. Like, it has that similar vibe of like the types of things they've been doing of recent. So I applaud Lyman and Cruz for like, let's try. Hey, we can try that too. Let's get in on this. It's not as like, I don't know. It's not as dramatically successful. I don't see this winning award season movies. It doesn't stick the landing from a pure drama standpoint of like, wow, that's really strong. At the same time, it does hit the landing of like, that was really fun, and it's a kind of an interesting adventure. But don't be misled, it's not an action movie. Like, it's definitely not a Tom Cruise action movie. It's something he's doing different, but it still has sort of the fun elements that a Cruise movie can have.
Yeah.
But it's done more in a Scorsesean way, but I would say not as strong.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't want to give it that high praise. But it walks this sort of middle line that was, it was a breath of fresh air to see from these guys.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's not an Oscar movie. It's not going to win a lot of awards, but it's an interesting story. It kept me hooked and watching the entire time. It's a recommendation for me. So
it's one of those movies that I think if you have a weekend, you want, it's like a good couples movie, a good whatever, any movie, just go see it. You want something good. Will people see it in the theaters though? I worry probably not. I would suggest you could. It's a slow burn right now, but it's definitely one you want to watch at home. I think it'll get a lot of play on other platforms and things as we go forward, because I think it's an intriguing film.
Yeah, I'd say if you have the time and you have the money this weekend, check out American Made. It's worth your time. That's our thoughts on American Made. We will be back Blade Runner 2049 next week with a lot of reviews. No one can talk about it yet. We're going to be talking about it right here next week on Screen Junkies News as we roll into November with all the big movies coming out, holiday season, Oscar season, so much ahead. I'm Dan Murrell.
Andy Signore.
Thank you so much. Yep, till the next one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Screen Junkies News. You can click, select, tap, whatever you want. The box is on screen to watch even more Screen Junkies News, and don't forget to click the logo to subscribe.